August 23rd, 2020. We're back here again. Same crew as last time, but just because it's our second time doing this, let's go around the table in the opposite order that we did last time. DeWayne.
Hi, I'm DeWayne. Resident evening time ginger. Charles is our typical daytime ginger. Because you got to have one on shift at all times. I feel like that's just necessary.
Jackals?
I'm Jake, the resident beer nerd. Just came to drink some good beer.
D?
Fuck.
All right. Andrew.
It's Andrew Dickey here, and I am beer writer with Indiana on Tap, blogger, and just excited about beer. And the topic tonight is specifically exciting to me, which we'll get to in a second.
What it is? No, I want to know. Like, tell me, what is it?
Today's topic is sours. We talked about doing it last time, and we're here now with all of the sour beers we could come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite style of beer, so I am here to see if I can get impressed and wowed by one of these.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here. And I just wanted to say that
challenge.
For a long time, sour beers, funky beers, fruit beers were all clipped together. And just for the purpose of keeping things simple, we are looking at basically just a few styles of what I say are simple sours, and that's going to include kettle sours, which predominantly most of the Indiana beers are made. And they're simple. Basically, I just say it, boiling your beer with lots of fruit and letting the sour do the work. We also have Berliner Weissen, Goose, which actually comes from Belgium, and then Gose, which is more of a German from the south. I think at Leipzig might be the city where it was found. I have to check, but I do know that it has German ancestry, and it was almost lost as a style, but craft beer has really brought it back to the point now that the Gose, a lot of the beers, in fact, I think almost half the beers we're trying tonight will be in that style. And I'm
looking at 3 right now.
And what I want to say is, at least with the kettle sours, and the first thing, if you can go ahead and pour what's in that growler, we'll talk about in a second. While he's pouring that, I want to say that kettle sours have come a long way. A few years ago, Sun King brought out something called the Velour Soccer Mom, and all you got was basically the sour with no body. And what I like about a lot of what the fruited kettle sours are doing now is you are getting a lot more fruit and a lot more body. So when I drink a sour, I like to see what else is going on in terms of the beer. I like to see if something's balancing the sour. And I want everybody to get a little bit of a sniff on this beer before we taste it. So let DeWayne pour everyone's beer, and I will just say that I had a chance to try this a few weeks ago, and this beer is balanced, and it's a good sessionable beer, and I'm happy that we have it, and I think it's good that we're starting with it. I was able to impress at least one person at this table already today with it.
Oh, that smells wonderful.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, the name of the beer is called In the Flesh. And I like that because go ahead and sniff on it while DeWayne is pouring it. And I want you to imagine with me, do you smell any hints of apricot? Because I get kind of what basically the peel, the outside of the apricot might smell like. A lot of the times when I have tried kettle sours, you get mashed fruit kind of coming out on this, but this has more like the whole fruit coming out.
Or the actual, like almost the rind of
the rind of it. It's nice. All right, and so this is from Nye, and Plainfield's brewing scene. It consists of Nye and also Brewlink, and they have done a lot with kettle sours, and I'm thinking they're making a lot of progress.
Now how is it their brewing scene when they're both owned by the same person?
It is. But that's basically what they're doing, and all the sours are being made actually at Brewlink.
Are we the Avon cigar scene?
Yes, you are.
All of it?
Yeah.
We're the store in Avon, so...
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, now we're the Avon cigar bar scene, because there are other shops that sell cigars in Avon.
But so I want you to go ahead and see how you taste the sour and the fruit in this beer.
Cheers, gents.
Oh, this is good.
Very tart.
Mm-hmm.
It hits you back the way it does in the very back of your cheeks, but
it's not overly tart, like to the point where you're sitting there making a face.
No,
it's not.
It's quenchable.
Yeah, there's some sours out there that you try them, and it's like you poured the like sour powder they put on like warheads and shit.
Yeah,
it feels like you just took a whole spoonful of that shit and threw it in your mouth.
Yeah, I've probably tried now. 8 or 9 kettle sours from Brewlink, and this is the first one that I actually really like, just because it's doing what it's supposed to do. And they've just been working on it, and so this is going to be where they're going to go.
I'm excited to see that this is where they're headed, because the one time I went there previously, I tried their, what was that lime thing?
It was called Limelight.
Yeah, Limelight. It tasted like you took a lime, squeezed it into your mouth, and that was about it. There was little to no carbonation. The malt build was completely just not there.
I had a chance to try that beer a couple weeks before you did, and I got it, and it felt like it was in progress, and I could smell the fruit.
You could
smell like the mash, like fermented fruit kind of on it, and with the lime, I kind of thought it was exciting, but not to the same level this is.
Right. I feel like if they continued working on it, it felt like they got about like 60% done with the project and just said, okay, fuck it, release it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I get with it. That Limelight. I saw Key Lime Sour on their list, and I was so pumped for that.
And we'll be doing a lime later, so we can maybe that's exciting. Yeah. We're going to go there because I think lime is perfect.
But I was bringing that up not just to bash Nye, but the fact that this has carbonation is brighter because of that.
It shows progress.
Yeah, it shows a lot of progress, and I'm okay with. I'm happy with this as far as
twist the cap tight. Yeah,
I'm happy with this because it shows that they've gone steps forward. I mean, it's still not necessarily my favorite style of beer, but I don't hate it. But the previous impression I had from that brewery was entirely that one beer, and that was all I got to try from them, I would never recommend someone go there. This, it's interesting.
Tried about 4 or 5 beers from them, and before now, like we went that one time, and I mean, we tried a lot of shit.
About everything there that time was flat.
Yeah. The only one that I was actually like, okay, this is good, was the chocolate cherry stout that they had.
Yes, yeah. And
that one was good. It almost tasted like Black Forest cake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I think that, I respect everybody at this table's opinion, and I hear what you say. And so I thought, well, when I try something from a brewery that I don't necessarily think, ranks high on everyone's opinion, and I try something I like, I just want to bring it to the table so that we can discuss it. And I think that was great and mission accomplished. And so...
Yeah, and I mean, and this does show that they're not... Like, I'm not writing them off yet, but I am watching them with a very close eye. Because it's one of those where you gotta think about, okay, are they gonna be like some of these breweries out there that are a one-trick pony? They got that one beer that's really good, this one, and then the rest of their lineup just sucks.
Well,
I mean, or are they going to develop that more and develop their cores and go from there?
Is this purely an apricot sour?
It is. There's some other things going on in it, but apricot is the primary fruit in it.
So I think this like wasn't terribly sweet. It was like nice and sour. It was smooth and it tastes so good, which is why it's already gone. But I really want to try like even this lime because I want to know like what they're working with, what they're thinking, what their process is.
Yeah.
Because I think that like after having this is my intro to this brewery. I'm like, okay, you guys, this is something that I would say, hey, if you're just wanting a sour, this is what I'm going to give you. It's like a safe hitter. Well, I want to try something daring.
And I just found out that a person I know that's been involved in the Indiana beer scene for a long time is now brewing with them, and I'm going to try to touch base and find out a little bit more about what they're doing, and so maybe I can report back if it's pertinent next time we meet about what direction they're going, because we are here in Hendricks County, although we're interested in beer locally as well as globally because that's what we do, but I like to know what's going on in our own backyard, and so that's what we started with this, and we're just going to go a little bit down the street down to Bloomington because I think you can go ahead and tell us a little bit. What do you have in your hand there?
So this is 2 of Tarts, and it's a Gose.
Mm-hmm. And this from Upland, is that correct?
Yeah, this is from Upland Brewing Company out of Bloomington, Indiana. It's done with passion fruit and mango.
And I want to say I'm happy that we're doing something from Upland because
they are known for their sours.
They have They have a whole, what is it called? The Wood Shop? The Wood Shop. And even predating that, about 12 years ago, they were one of the first breweries in Indiana to be doing sours, and they were doing lambics.
Oh,
and they did a whole line of lambics. And in fact, the kiwi they had an explosion with this, and it became one of the most highly sought out beers like in 2008 because there were very few bottles of Kiwi that did not
Why
survive
didn't I
that.
start drinking beer earlier?
I do want to say something though, real quick, because Dee pointed it out too. That was crispy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have just gone down. They're still making some crazy sours. You can go on down there. In fact, last May I was there on Sour Night, and they literally had dozens of sours to try. But this Two of Tarts is one of the best seller ones you can find in the grocery store. And so if you live in Indiana, I do think that you can probably find this one.
Just give me the whole can.
I poured light on mine because I've had this, and I want to make sure everybody gets some to try
Have
it.
you tried the other one from them? I think it's called Pedal to the Metal, whatever that one is. Is that what it's called? The one, strawberry one?
Yeah,
Strawberry
I've not tried it, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
Um,
But, well, this is the Two of Tarts, and it is, what flavors are we looking for in it?
mango and passion fruit.
So as I had mentioned off
Very
mic
clean
earlier,
on the
I tried the Dogfish Head.
Yeah.
It's very similar. So I'm really I really want to know which is better.
Now, what does it say that they consider? Is this considered a Goza? Now, traditionally, the Goza was a very simple sour that just was basically a sour flavoring with coriander and sea salt, and that was what your principal flavor. And if you get one that was made in Germany traditionally, and you can still find those in a good liquor store, that's a very simple flavor. You just get sour with the little bit of the salt and everything. And I still get a little bit of salt in a lot of the Goza because I think that they still use it. And I know that the Dogfish Head
Dogfish Head does.
that
Oh my gosh.
that Sequench one,
Yeah.
that is basically like an alcoholic Gatorade.
Their super goza is the passion fruit, mango, raspberry,
And,
red sea salt.
Yeah, I want to shout out to them because they were doing good sours a long time ago. That Festema Pesch, the newer Berliner Weissen, that was that was one of a lot of people's introduction to sours, I think.
So, I get what you're saying with the salt on this. Like, the salt definitely comes out.
Pretty light, though.
It is.
It's a very light, delicate
Yeah.
beer.
The previous beer, I could really appreciate because think of a sour, like, it is sour.
Yeah.
This one, yeah, I'm not
doesn't-
getting that as much. I don't know. My palate was just already had to get up and go from the previous beer, but this one's just kind of
Yeah, this one is not as tart as the other one is.
nowhere near it.
These aren't typically as tart.
No.
Okay.
This is very much a very sessionable, and this is more. I think that there is something to be said about some of the sours that you can get in a 6-pack. They're trying to compete with other session beers, other light lagers and pilsners, and so they're taking a little bit, they're detracting a little bit from some of the sour to make it more appealing. And I think maybe that's one of the things that Upland might be doing with this particular beer. This is an introductory sour on every level.
Yeah, probably bring it, maybe we'll get a little
Yeah, well, we
more
have 2 glasses
accessible
in
to
front of
the
us, and so
consumer.
Is that why? Are we doing both of these right next to each other?
I think we should, just because we have 2 different sours from
All right.
Urban Artifact, and they are out of Cincinnati, and we might as well pour them both and compare and contrast. One is a grapefruit, and I think one is a lime, right?
One is a lemon lime tart as well, and the other one is a grapefruit goza.
Okay, both from Urban Artifact in Cincinnati, Ohio.
So,
And I do suggest cleaning your palate because, like I said, Charles commented that the amount of sour from one to next.
yeah, this is going to be one of those where, and it's not a clean it every couple beers. This is going to be a clean it after every damn beer. Shit.
Way to go, DeWayne. Did you spill?
A little bit.
Have some
Some
ice
beer
cubes.
over there.
I'm taking that. I'm just gonna pass it around this time.
Oh, okay. So now you're too good to pour beer? You want to pour beer for me anymore, buddy?
Not getting
You
paid
don't
right
want
now.
to be the beer bitch?
Mhm. I like the name of this one, the photo booth.
I'm being gentle with this on the pour just because I want to. They are 12-ounce cans. So I want to make sure everybody gets
Yeah.
enough to be able to try this.
2-ounce pours, kids.
Yeah.
And the spyglass.
So that's a lemon lime,
Mhm.
and that's a grapefruit that you have in your hand.
Any more that breweries
Put in the tulip.
that are making 20, 30 beers, they try to give a name something
Shit.
that isn't necessarily named by the other breweries because it's a lot easier when you're checking
I
in.
forgot which glass I put which beer in. shit.
Well, if you look at this color
Grapefruit.
versus this color, you'll find them almost identical.
Oh, that's that's grapefruit. And yeah, that's the lemon lime. You can tell which one's the grapefruit right off the damn nose.
You put those cans in the middle so everybody can look at them if they need to.
I think that one's your grapefruit because that's the one you poured first.
Oh, I poured the lemon lime first. I thought.
These are quite nice. They have been making sours for at least 3 or 4
right.
years because I came across a key lime one from this brewery in 2017. So if I'm not mistaken, this is nothing new to them. Their sour catalog seems to be quite good. I just don't think it was available in Indiana until recently.
Which one's that, Charlie?
This grapefruit is
lemon lime.
definitely
It's the lime.
You like the lime one?
That's the first one I tried.
No, that's definitely a ruby red, isn't it?
It's grapefruit.
Yeah, that's like definitely one of the sweeter grapefruits.
I think it's really. I think they put a lot of the rind.
That
in
lime
there.
is very. The lime has a lot of tart, and that's
So that's the grapefruit.
doesn't hit you
This is the lime.
excessively, but it's nice. It is a nice sour, and it's balanced with
The lime is quite refreshing.
yes.
Ooh. That's
I like the
bright.
yeast strain they're using. If it's a Belgian yeast strain, because
It's like, I want to say it's very similar to the one from Nye in the sense of, I mean, this is something you could just throw back. I mean, on a hot summer day, this would be spectacular.
Yeah. I would being a German style beer. It might be some kind of
probably some kind of German.
I don't know if they would use a wheat beer strain or not, but I'm assuming that probably.
I guess it's probably gonna be a wheat beer strain.
Mm-hmm. This
With
lime
as light
is
as
like
the malt bill's gonna be.
lime.
Probably
Yeah.
a lighter yeast.
It's good, though. I like that lime a lot.
I feel like I need a shot of tequila.
And what I've always said, and this has to do with, especially with Belgian beers, the monks and everything didn't necessarily have a lot of knowledge. They let the yeast do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And these,
Mother
yeast does
Nature.
a lot of work in any of these kind of beers because it does do a lot to produce the souring, and especially if we do a separate show on the funky beers, and I want to get really
Wild
into
yeast.
I want to get into
Yes.
the different French styles, the German style, and the Belgian styles, and of course the Flemish.
All the breaded
there's
stuff.
all that stuff with the Brit, the tan, everything. You know, it's just
Side note, I did tell someone about the podcast today.
yeah.
And he was interested. He actually wanted to look us up and listen. So I was like, all right, cool.
I did got some.
And
As
the
well.
idea that he goes, hey, if you're doing beer podcasts, he goes, something that would be a cool idea. We just did the barrel aged episode,
Yeah.
specifically for Bourbon County.
Right.
What if we did just a standard barrel aged episode and did a side by side with the whiskey in which the barrels they aged it in?
Oh.
I'm seeing a lot of crooked stave that have been aged in oak barrels and this and that and stuff, and so I'd like to get those here at West, drinking them while they're still, very exciting. So yeah, that would be very fun.
That
And
could be a good time.
I have some barrel aged saisons and stuff, and I think that kind of goes with.
And it doesn't have to be barrel aged stouts. It could be barrel aged whatever the hell.
But I'm thinking that would be really a good introduction, maybe some of the funky beers too.
So like
Yeah.
a quarter shot of whatever, like a quarter shot of the bourbon, and then
Yeah, just
sip of the
just a little taste of whatever, yeah. And like drink the beer, kind of clean your palate up a little bit, and then try the whiskey. See how it pairs up.
That's definitely doable. We've got 30 different whiskeys back there?
Over 40.
Over 40?
That's so oaky, so good.
I'm gonna have to find
So
which.
bad.
I know a lot of beer makers use a lot of Heaven Hill barrels.
Yeah. So you got to
because they're cheap.
well, and yeah,
They're
and
cheaper
because,
than most bourbon barrels.
and you got to figure out too when it comes to the Heaven Hill barrels, which Heaven Hill product are they using? Are
Right.
they using?
Heaven Hill makes 20 different products.
Oh my
I
gosh,
believe.
yes.
Yeah, and so that's a great idea.
That's like a beam. That's like going Beam Suntory. Like you're never gonna know what they got.
Right.
And while I'm giving you guys, since we just did two beers, giving you guys a chance to finish those and to clean your palates before we move on to
Ooh,
the next thing, which is from a
I just
brewery
tried that
that's
grapefruit.
We have a brewery that is next. I want to say that DeWayne is basically exciting himself. But before we get there, I was discussing this with Charles earlier. Maybe if we take off a little bit farther and we go, maybe a location, a show where we can be somewhere where they have multiple beers on nitro, because I think it would be kind of cool to do a focus on beers on nitro. We'd have to find somewhere that had multiple nitro taps, but I think that would be fun just to throw that out as a future idea too. So I want you guys just to think about that, and I would like to let DeWayne talk a little bit about his love for the next brewery.
What
Well, hold
about
on.
these? Like, Dwayne just got the grapefruit. I told you it's good. Isn't that Ruby Red? Isn't that a sweeter grapefruit?
What it tastes like, so you know how sometimes people have like a half a grapefruit with some sugar over the top? It tastes like you had that, but instead of sugar, you did a little bit of salt.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of salt on there. Like that sound, this tastes like healthy breakfast.
I love it. Like, this is
Breakfast of Champions?
this is definitely
Charles just looking at me like, what the
did
hell
you
are you
not like
talking
it?
about?
I don't know.
He's just along for the ride here. Just remember that.
Charlie's just along for the ride.
I'm just at a loss on this because I'm just tasting both of them. It's like the lime one was a little better,
Mm-hmm.
I can agree to that.
but
I prefer the grapefruit.
So, D, you're picking up more of the sweeter side of the grapefruit.
Oh, yeah.
In your palate. See, I'm getting more of the bitter side.
Yeah, I got the
more of
the
the rind.
I got the sour
Listen,
too. I just
get
took the
rind
last
and
sip of that.
salt.
Very much sour on that. The rind.
Yeah.
I eat a lot of grapefruit.
See, I don't eat a lot of grapefruit.
I love grapefruit. It's like as soon as I got it, I'm like, this is almost like a nice white, but it's entirely
You can
too
pour a
bright.
little more liberally. I got
It
two
has
cans
to be
purposely
red.
because I want you to talk a little bit about this brewery.
So, there's a fun little backstory to this brewery in Indiana. This bar is actually part of the reason, not the whole reason. I won't even say the straw that broke the camel's back, but we got to be part of the movement of bringing Cigar City to Indiana. There's a lot of people that wanted it, and they just hadn't found a distributor in Indiana.
Damn Skippy, because
So we called down to the brewery, and we talked to the brewers about how much we wanted it. And then, because we're a cigar bar, it only makes sense to have Cigar City Brewing Company in here. Like, what the hell?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So we fought, and I basically did to them what I did to the War Pigs rep, is I just pestered them until they did what we wanted.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, the cool thing was, they came in, and we were one of the first accounts that was able to get it. Like,
And
I
I
was so excited.
will say they have been nice to us where there have been some things like their Maduro and Nitro. They only sent so many barrels up to Indiana, and they were like, hey, you're a cigar bar and you have a Nitro tap. How many of these do you want? Because
Yeah, they are
they're
very
limited, and not everyone's going to get them, but you kind of make the most sense.
Yeah, they're very liberal with what they allow us as a business to
a
have.
class act brewery.
Yeah. Super
I've
cool.
made maybe 15 to 20 trips to Florida in the last 5 or 6 years, so I have friends down there. Highlight, which is one of their best beers.
Fantastic
You can find
beer.
it all over the state of Indiana now, but it was like one of the top beers in Florida. And I've had a chance to visit their tap room in Ybor City, and
I love the fact that they did the Spanish cedar High Life.
they do that nicely. And I'm just telling you, anybody, you should,
The Humidor
if you make it
series.
down to Florida, you need to visit the Tampa area and go to Cigar City. And there are lots of other breweries down there too. It's
I
a
get
fun
really
it's a
excited.
fun place to visit. But this is a margarita goes.
See, I know
Whoa,
they can
you
make
said
good
margarita?
beer.
Yes.
I know their beer is excellent. Like, their Maduro and Nitro was phenomenal. Their Marshall Zukov is killer.
I love that Marshall shit. I'm sorry.
I like their Florida cracker.
I'm just not
There's a lot left there.
so far I'm not being swayed towards the sour camp.
Mmm.
Some I've appreciated more thus far. We'll see, because I have a very high opinion of this brewery.
Bro, this is how much of a fan I am.
I already had one today.
seriously, I was wearing my Cigar City Brewing Company sunglasses today.
I broke mine.
One of the reasons that we have this beer here today was
Sorry.
I was thinking about what we were going to bring and what we were going to drink today.
Yeah.
And I happened to be trading with a friend of mine with some of the beers I picked up for this. And she had a 6-pack of this beer. And this was the one she wouldn't let me have any because she said it was that good. So when Charles and I went to pick up some stuff today and I saw it there, I'm like, we have to try it because I have a friend that, she loves sours. And this is one that she was coveting. There's a reason.
Well, and this was something that was pretty readily available at the liquor store. I mean, when it first came out, it was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just got, it was like in a vacuum because it's gone.
So we found it wasn't hard to find today. So apparently they are making sure we have plenty for the summer.
The can says made by hand. born in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is definitely, like, I absolutely love the way that Cigar City does what they do, because they, not only do they have their standard core line, but they kick out so many just one-off side projects. And, I mean, one of my favorite recurring ones they've got is Hunapoo.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a bottle of that at home. I've got another one that's, oh, good God, what is it? One of the variants on Hunapoo. I forget which one I've got. But back to this one, I mean, when they say made by hand, they mean it. It's not, they're going old school in their brewing process. They're not going with the computerized stuff. It's like, hey, let's throw this together and see if it works.
Yeah. And I like that you guys are fans of this place, and they're fans of you. I've been to the section of Tampa, the suburb called Ybor City, which basically the main drag in Ybor City is tattoo parlor, cigar shop, bar. And this is the culture that Cigar City is in.
Yeah.
And they definitely are doing a lot of aging stuff on like the cedar and stuff like that.
They
I
did.
like what they're doing. And this is a brewery. If you have not had anything from Cigar City, I encourage you, whether you like sours or not, to find out about this brewery, because they're one of maybe, I'm going to say, top 20 breweries in the country, if not top 5.
Without trying. I mean, then again, I am kind of a fanboy of them, so
No.
my opinion is a bit skewed.
No, I used to travel all over the country, and I had my breweries that I always drank when I went to those places. I'm not saying that since these things are all now available in Indiana, it takes the fun out of it, but there was a time when I couldn't get Terrapin here, I couldn't get Sweetwater, I couldn't get Cigar City, and I go to the South all the time, and now all those beers, have they lost their luster? Not necessarily, but it's interesting to go to the grocery store and now see beers that 5 years ago I had to go to other part of the country to get.
You're driving halfway across the country to find.
I happen to be there and just enjoying it. And Cigar City is certainly the jewel in the crown there.
I really like the flavor of this beer. It's almost, it's really heavy on the orange, but the lime is still present, and it is definitely like it's a little bit salted. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's almost like if it wasn't for the fact that I don't taste any agave in it at all.
I know, right? It's like it's almost
because
like
I don't think they use agave, number one, but
yeah.
But it's called Margarita Gose. I mean, tropical influence meets innovative brewing in this tart margarita-inspired ale. Effervescent on the palate, it utilizes orange peel, lime, salt to create a zesty, light-bodied, and entirely unique beer experience.
I get all those flavors.
Yeah,
Orange peel, lime, salt.
It's like drinking a virgin margarita.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to see him put this in a tequila barrel.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
I feel like they did.
I don't know, that flavor would definitely come through a lot stronger if it's in a tequila barrel. I've had pear in tequila.
These are all very low on the ABV. These are beers that you can drink a lot of and be responsible. And that's one of the reasons that you'll see that our bill tonight is quite lengthy.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm excited about the next thing we have, too.
A month in a tequila barrel on this would be...
Have you had the pear cider that's been aged in tequila barrel from Canada? They have it at, Flicks, but that's the only place I've ever been able to find it. It's so good.
So, this next selection was brought in by Jake. You wanna talk about this, or do you want me to pop it into the mic so everybody can hear this? Because
pop it into the mic.
Because this is
from
like
Belgium.
champagne cork, man. This is...
And it's a true Belgian goes.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good pop.
Cool as shit.
That was bottled.
Oh my god.
That bottle already has, I think, about 2 years of age on it.
I'm gonna pass the cork around.
I can't. The brewery is. Andrew, your Belgium's probably better than mine. The name's right there on the side. Fontinen,
Lembeck Brewery, and Goosterreich.
Yeah, these guys are known for strictly doing
Lambics and Gozes.
creeks and goose.
Yeah, and I didn't do a creek tonight, although I had one I could have brought. Partly because I thought that maybe when we do more of the funky beers, we can focus heavily on what's going on in Belgium. But we do have 2 selections of beers from Belgium, And I did want to do a Goza, a Goose, because for me, when I was first learning about sour beers before they were readily made, this was one of the first sours you could get your hands on. This one and another beer, which we'll be trying later, the Sour Browns. They were the most sour beers on the market because, like I said, the Goza you couldn't find anywhere until recently. So if you wanted sour, you had to drink Belgian until recently.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
This has got a good color to it, too.
And that's not totally true because there always has been the Berliner Weissen, but that's only gotten popular recently, too. I remember traveling about 15 years ago in Philadelphia, and I kept going to this place called Notting Head, like the bobbleheads.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And they had a beer called Ich bin ein Berliner Weissen. And that was the first time I ever had a sour beer.
Poured a little much.
Get a little overzealous there, buddy.
I hope you like that beer.
So far, I feel like I have way too much in my glass.
Well, pour some more into somebody else's glass.
Take some of that.
Maybe that's a D and half D.
You just want to
Steal
drink
some of your beer.
So the first time I tried that, and that was in Philadelphia back in like 2003 or 4. First time I ever had a sour beer, and it blew me away.
He's just so confused.
And DeWayne, did you know what they do in Germany with the sour beers?
No.
They do not drink them sour. They have 2 different kinds of candy syrup.
Really?
Yeah, they have one called Himbeer, and then I can't remember the other names of them. But they had these different. They had a red and a green syrup, and they put them in there. They were sweet, and so basically it made the sour beer sweet. And
so what you're saying is that everyone drinking sour beers is fucking up, and that the people that invented it have to jazz it up to drink it.
That was part of the...
No, it's because America, and we got bigger balls than the Germans.
Yeah,
Damn right.
See, in Berlin, that was just how they were doing it and everything. In fact, I actually,
what
when
we
I got to go
wore.
to Germany
Bro, it
in
smells like
2007, I got a Berlin
I don't
Kindle
know if you should
Weiss
say that about beer, though.
in the city of Nuremberg.
Yeah, that's actually, I need to
And
take
they
back
got-
what I said about
yeah,
that.
you're
'cause
fine.
Germans will
Yeah.
go ape shit.
But Dwayne, when I would actually had a
On
chance to
beer.
go to Germany, the first Berliner Weissen I had was outside of Berlin, and the guy did not put the syrup in right. He kind of just put it on the side. So I got to drink the sour and the sweet. So it was kind of like getting a little bit, trying it both ways, because he didn't understand the
like
process.
Sour Patch Kids, they're
I
sour.
was
They're not
glad
sweet.
that he did that for me because I got to experience what I wanted to. Because when I got to Berlin and I ordered the beer and it came already with the syrup in it, I was a little bit disappointed because at that point I had already was wanting to try something sour and my German wasn't good enough to explain to them I didn't want them to put the syrup in.
Yeah, I could feel that. This has got
Or
a...
maybe it was, and he's like, "You dumb American, this is what we're gonna do instead."
Quite right, but I love coming
Hold
back.
up, hold up. Let's go to the...
Charlie, how you like this beer over there, buddy?
I haven't tried it yet.
How's it smell?
It's pretty awful.
Describe its awfulness.
Describe the awfulness,
The
because I don't
musk,
think it smells.
not like the
The musk.
not the ammonia of a soiled diaper, but the undertone that you.
Yes, we are
This
listening to...
this isn't even like smelly foot. Like this is actually quite pleasant
Charles
smelling.
is bringing up some of the subtleties of aged beers in Belgium. In fact, back in the day when you didn't know how long the beer had sat on a shelf before you could get it, and we're talking like 2002, 2003, when I would go to the liquor stores, you never knew what a Belgian beer was going to taste like because you didn't know what kind of funk happened in that
The
bottle.
way that Band-Aids
This was,
taste,
birth-
but a smell.
I think 17, 18.
Yeah. This is relatively unmarred by the time and space of what happens in warehouses.
Yeah, this was bottled on April 16th of 2018.
Yeah. Relatively young. But you're getting all the...
Yeah, but relatively compared to the rest of the stuff we're
this
drinking
is quite
tonight.
ancient.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more exotic and a little more exquisite from what we've been drinking so far.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad we took a break and went to the...
I just like the Best
Old
Buy
school.
date on it.
Oh, shit.
Best Buy October 2038.
Yeah.
2038?
So we opened it too early. We really need to get to this beer by 2030. Put it back in the bottle.
It's definitely.
I'll try it in another 10 years.
It's
and then
definitely a
I'm
little
good.
bit tangy. It definitely has like a full body of flavor. That is.
Yeah, that's what I said when I was saying. When you
That's
think about this.
hilarious.
Think about what else is going on in there.
I'm scared of this. I want to
I
taste
love
it.
this beer. This beer's got
It's nice. Have it with a cracker.
It smells like a tire
it's got
store.
must. It's got
Yeah, like the way the Band-Aids taste.
Almost like a
It's
meaty quality
the
to it.
rubbery fake
It's
plastic.
blended together the
tire.
citrus too well, so I can't figure out what fruit it is.
it's probably going to be apricot, or it could be you could be getting some sort of fruit ester off the yeast.
May not even be any
I
actual
don't
fruit
even
in
think
it.
there's
know
any
that I-
fruit in this beer at all.
Oh.
It's quite possibly not. This is just a beer where the yeast is doing all the sour work.
Yeah, it's
Which
probably
I said primarily until Americans started putting fruit into them, a lot of these beers were not heavily fruited. Your fruit beers were separate from the sours.
Now, my question is, we were talking about how like Berlin.
Oh,
they
it's
put,
like Malort.
It's not like Malort.
it's not
No,
like
that middle
Malort.
back note.
My question is, since they were putting that sweetener
The
in,
tang on the side is
that
similar.
syrup in to sweeten it up,
I have a book,
Could-
I'll show it to you.
could America doing the fruited sours? Could that be their way of circumventing having to use the syrup?
That is exactly what they were doing. Now, I was able to get my hands on those sours,
A blend
the
of
sweetening
1,
syrups,
2, and 3-year-old
because
lambic.
Cons used to sell them, and I got my hands on them, and I had some until an ex-girlfriend decided to use them as salad dressing. But
What the hell?
She mixed them with vinegar and everything, and it worked perfectly. Like she used that raspberry one with vinegar, and she made a balsamic kind of raspberry. I didn't get mad at her because it worked, but I don't think.
And because you were getting laid.
Also, you eat a
Let's
shit
be-
ton of
let's be more
salad, so
honest
it's not like
here.
it went to waste.
No, it was a great night thing.
So about that whole fruiting thing, this says that Three Fountain Old Goose is a blend of 1, 2, and 3-year-old lambics. Traditional lambic is cultural heritage rooted in Zen Valley, bottle fermented, unfiltered, and unpasteurized.
Yeah, they have fruit lambics and they have
Oh, yeah.
non-fruited lambics, and I'm glad we get to do a non-fruited lambic.
Yeah, this is 8 different barrels and originating from 11 different brews. So the flavor is really, really, really diverse.
It's gonna be. This is a very complex beer.
You got something right there from Three Floyds, don't you?
Yeah, this is Three Floyds Center Square. This one,
Looks like a game show on the front.
it does. Remember that show Hollywood Squares?
It sure does.
Yeah, that's what it looks like on the front.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a bunch of their like can art characters.
You got the Robert the Bruce on there, and
Yeah, it's got like Alpha King on here. It's got the Zombie Dust logo. Bunch of stuff.
Quick
But,
side note: has anybody bought beer based on just the graphics?
Oh,
yeah.
That's how I ended up with Dogfish Head.
yeah, Arctic Panzerwolf.
Yeah, like I've shopped for beer just solely based
Yeah,
on.
and
the
I'm going to tell you
artwork.
right now that a brewery that we're about to do after this, we'll talk more about them because I'm excited about them. Another brewery from up north, 18th Street, has got the art. They have a connection to Three Floyds, but I think they have some of the best art in the state.
I'd agree with that.
So yeah, this is the Center Square. It's a peach Berliner Weiss, and like we were talking about, I mean the art on the bottle is, I'm not gonna lie, that's half the reason I bought it. I think this is actually the first Berliner Weiss from an Indiana brewery that I purchased.
Yeah, and peach and Berliner Weissen sounds exciting to me because, like I said, one of the first Berliner Weissen I had in a bottle was from Dogfish Head, the Festemapesh, which was
Yeah.
a Neo Berliner Weiss.
So I do want to talk about this because this is, let's pop this. Not as crispy. Not as crispy.
Nah, not quite.
I do like this opener though. We're gonna keep the name of it out because they're not giving us anything to rep them.
So fuck you, is what Dwayne's saying.
Pretty much
But,
what
like,
you just said.
It's cool as hell. It's got a bottle opener. It's got a wax cutter for those wax sealed bottles.
It's made of wood.
Yeah.
It has
There's a magnet built into the back of it.
It's got one of those screws that you see on IKEA furniture, where it takes the hex head, and then it's flat and big.
Yeah, and that's what you use for the bottle opening.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And a local beer group had them made up. So my good man, this is the peach beer I was telling you about.
I like peaches.
Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches.
Don't even do that because that song popped into my head too, and now I'm kind of creeped out.
Peaches come from a can. They were put there by a man.
Oh man, that is such a gorgeous smell.
Take that up to just do the, let it,
Ooh,
that is nice. There is a lot of peach going on in that. You can
It's like-
smell it.
Oh wow, that's just
that's
straight
like scented
peaches.
candle level of peach.
That's
Yes.
like Yankee, Yankee Candle peaches, bro. This is hot summer peach night.
We still expect Three Floyds to do things well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're putting up with Toppling Goliath now in Indiana.
Well,
Yeah.
and I actually had one of the local distributors.
That tastes like the inside of a peach.
Yeah, I had one of the local distributors in here yesterday, and we were talking a bit
Oh,
about
wow.
how Three Floyds, I guess there was an account downtown at one point, and this is years ago, back when they were super particular about their beer. about who got to have it. Like they legitimately sent the distributor a list of accounts that were allowed to purchase their beer, and they didn't get a certain thing that they wanted. So they contacted Three Floyds and they were like, "Hey, why didn't we get this?" And I guess their response was, "I don't remember saying you were allowed to have my beer in the first place."
Damn.
Yeah, like they were savage back in the day. And now they've come out and they've just opened the floodgates to Indianapolis and like central Indiana area and allowing us to be able to get a hold of. Like, I honestly believe that had we been back in that old mentality, we wouldn't be able to have this beer unless I had driven up to Munster to go get it.
And I have to agree. And I think part of it was when they started collaborating with whoever, the War Pigs people, that they could have something else McNeller to send to the Chicago market. Mm-hmm. And so they didn't necessarily put so much in there. I can tell you that a few years ago I was in Wisconsin at the Mars Beers Castle, and I couldn't believe how much Three Floyds was sitting up there. Beer you couldn't even find on the shelf down here. And that would just boggle my mind that an Indiana beer that we couldn't, beer like we're talking like Zombie Dust, and they had the middle finger, just the whole gambit of Three Floyds beer at this cheese castle up in Wisconsin. Beers that only were coming out on like every Saturday, and you could get a 6-pack. And that's all you could get. And
if you were lucky to get it.
And my point is, if a brewery is present in a state, I think they have an obligation to
take care of their clientele.
Take care of the clientele in their state, especially the biggest city in their state, first and foremost. And if that's what they're doing now, kudos to them, because what they've done in the past, can I just say, seems to the Indiana beer drinker slightly pathetic.
Well, and yeah, they've definitely stepped their game up. I will say that,
and I think they've had to, because when we come to the next brewery, you'll see there are other breweries in Indiana that are doing things just as exciting. And
and they're doing a lot better. I will give them that. They were kind of lacking for a while, and they've definitely stepped their game up.
But I will tell you, DeWayne, if you should be lucky enough to get up to their tap room, the beers they have on tap, the stuff that they don't really mass produce, is phenomenal, and they have tons of sours that you'll never see bottled. So they are doing some special stuff up there.
They have a really nice tap room. Really good food. Hopefully it opens back up soon.
I said this before, and I'll say this again. This tastes like straight candy.
Oh, it does.
Oh, it does. It tastes
D,
like
what do you
trains.
think?
I don't think it tastes quite like candy, but it is a very delicious peach. It is super duper peachy on the breath, but it's definitely still a beer.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of a tart finish. But again, like we were talking about early on, it's not the sour powder, like in your face candy sour.
Yeah.
Well,
tart is definitely a better way to describe it than like sour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you get your nose in there, it's just like peaches for days.
Mm-hmm.
It is nice. That is a lot of peach. We're going to go, when you guys, as you finish this, enjoy that. Just think about what peach tastes, because we're going in a whole different direction.
But I like this direction.
I do like this direction.
So far, this is the one where I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. I understand
this
now.
Is we're doing powdered jelly donuts, is what the theme of this, and we've got 18th Street. 18th Street is, I'm going to say it, now that they have an Indiana tap room, they're exciting me even more.
Indianapolis, yeah.
Yeah, I like their hoppy beers from the number 2 Pencil. Is one of my new favorite hoppy beers. I was just looking at what they had in the rack. At the liquor store we were at earlier today. I'm impressed with what they're doing, and they have a whole line of just sour beers called their Sour Notes, and it's like their wood shop. It's a whole line of just making sour beers. This is from their standard thing. It is their. Would you go ahead and just describe both of the cans to us right now? What you're holding on, because there's a lot going on there. What are you holding on?
So this is the cranberry apple and vanilla. It's done with lactose sugar. It's got a nice polka dotted background. It's got a big old jelly donut right on the label.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you post pictures of when you bought these. I was in that tap room the day before you were. Mm-hmm. And I saw these as I was getting ready to leave, and we were there like right at close, and they had already basically pulled their drawer to go count it. And she goes, "Well, we can." I was like, "No, I don't want to mess up your counts. Like, I appreciate the effort, but..."
Yeah. And I already tried the one in Jake's hand, but since we have 2 glasses, I'm thinking we're going to do the same thing with this.
Yeah, that's what...
I want Jake to tell you what he has in his hand, because we're going to...
That's what I got.
That was a
This
nice
is the
crack.
blackberry, black currant, and vanilla bean jelly donut with lactose.
I had a chance to
sounds
try
good.
this one on tap last Friday, and it's phenomenal. So, these are fun, and this is just one facet of
Listen,
one of the coolest breweries in Indiana.
I do like the artwork.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pop this boy open.
you should. I've not had this one yet, so I'm excited.
ooh, just a nice little thunk right there at the end. I feel like that's part of the enjoyment of these. Ooh, that is a nice color too.
Oh yeah, like a ruby red.
Yeah.
It almost looks like Hawaiian Punch, but children, it's not Hawaiian Punch.
I really don't think the show's marketing to children.
I've always thought that Crush.
You mean this isn't Baby's first beer cast?
Don't they have the candy?
Scratch that from the
Candy
list.
Crushable?
Candy
All
Crush.
right.
I said the number 2 pencil screams.
Did you get this one?
I did.
Okay.
I think jelly donuts in this manner are how I need to take them from now on because this is quite satisfying.
Yes. So you have 2 of the most exciting sours made in Indiana, and I'm gonna straight down and say that. Oh my God! I am proud to be able to give these to you tonight because these.
Dude,
This-
you can really smell the black
This is
currant
this is
and
good
vanilla.
stuff.
So which one are we starting on?
Let's do the black currant one first.
All right, because that's the one
All right.
I'm nosing the
Okay.
fuck out of right now, and it's
Charlie
very
went
intimate.
Hold on, Charlie went the other way, so I'm gonna go with Charles on this one, and then y'all get into whichever one.
Yeah, I had already just started to sip the.
The apple one.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
Cranberry apple and vanilla.
which so far, like, I don't know, this second round of beers,
It
I'm
smells
liking
like
a lot
apple.
better.
You can smell the apple in there.
I told you, sours are a very large group of beers.
Okay, this one is balanced. There's sour and there's a bit of tart, but
There's a nice sweetness to it
it's
as well.
like so this reminds me of one of those donuts that does have like the apple filling inside.
Yeah.
They got this right on, and like
It's almost like those the powdered sugar
Yes.
apple poxies.
that's what
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yes.
The what?
the Polish
the
donuts.
Polish donuts, the poxy.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on. Let me picture that. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, that one threw me off a bit.
you get a little bit of apple cider kind of.
Yeah. Side note, not my favorite poxy. I like the cinnamon apple ones, but the powdered sugar apple ones. I mean, that's what this tastes like.
Do you like this, Charles?
Yeah, this one's actually really pleasant.
Yes.
Is anybody else picking up a white chocolate?
bit.
The vanilla bean
The
mixed in with the
vanilla bean's going to
lactose?
give you that white chocolate. That is nice, and I got that front on the first little bit at the top.
I think the vanilla beans mixing with the lactose.
It's got a little funk on the
and
back
creating
end.
A white chocolate.
Why does it have to be white chocolate?
Because it doesn't taste like
Cocoa.
cocoa. All right? It doesn't taste like milk chocolate.
I swear to
It doesn't
God,
taste like
I thought he was gonna be
dark
like, it doesn't taste
chocolate.
like black chocolate. I'm like, wait a minute,
It's obviously like a weaker chocolate.
Yeah, it's not
that
cocoa,
chocolate can't
all
run
right?
anywhere near as fast.
Can't jump
Damn,
either.
Charles.
Can't go to the beach, get sunburned.
But it gets the ladies.
What the fuck? We're gonna get canceled.
Way to go.
Yeah, canceled by me.
Whatever. They're gonna be like, they got dark chocolate on the show. That's what we listen.
Okay, there's legitimately a guy in one of the beer groups that I'm part of, and his name on there is Chocolate Thunder.
That's funny.
And he starts every chug video that he does. He goes, "Chocolate Thunder here," and
But,
kicks
like-
right into his
Clothes, right?
yes.
As soon as you start removing clothes and calling yourself Chocolate Thunder, then we have a problem because it's already taken. You hear me? I'm calling you out, son.
He's only in Louisville. I can probably make that
Oh,
happen.
Yeah, road trip. Let's go.
We can make this happen. And there's a really good brewery down in Louisville.
There's a couple good ones down there.
You just want to watch
We
me
need to go
strip
down to
with another
Akasha.
guy. That's what it is, isn't it?
That'd be cool.
Possibly.
See if we can get down to Akasha and set up.
I can't blame you.
Sumo wrestling competition.
I just discovered Floyd County. Not too bad either.
Mm.
I do love sumo wrestling. But you had to
What's
do it in
happening?
like a 55 gallons of lube in a kiddie pool.
Yeah, speaking of lube, let's go on to this other beer that I know. This is lube for the mouth.
Oh my god. Swiss Miss. That's the flavor. Swiss Miss.
I'm just concerned about the kiddie lube.
Oh, we're actually doing this?
Get down, Mr. President!
I think think we're going to do with all the glassware on the table?
That's why I let Charles take the helm on that
I
one.
can't believe no one joined me. It's fine.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's this game we play where you do this.
Get down, Mr. President.
And the last person that does that, everybody yells, "Get down, Mr. President," and we go after and tackle that person.
So you lost.
All right, let's move on to the. This is probably gonna be a great one. The blackberry blackcurrant.
Yeah,
and
I
vanilla.
asked to try it when I was at 18th Street because I went in there basically just to buy the other beer.
Oh my! Oh
And
shit!
I sat and
You
enjoyed this
taste the
beer.
blackcurrant.
Holy shit! It tastes like cobbler.
The blacker the berry.
The sweeter the juice.
We are getting canceled.
Hashtag fuck 2020.
Yeah, the blackberry one's way better than the white chocolate one.
I don't know, man. I like
Blackberry
the.
beers matter.
I like the apple.
Yeah, black beers matter.
That's true.
Well, we need to cut that part out.
That's why it was an aside.
Or not. I don't care.
See how it feels. I don't know.
You get the.
The one guy in
blackberry.
Ireland's gonna be shitty.
Yes.
He hasn't.
Oh, we figured out who that is.
Alex confirmed that it has not been from VPNing from Ireland. It's at least not him.
Really?
Yeah.
I do want to say that sour beers are made for everybody to enjoy, regardless of what comic books you read, okay?
Fuck DC. Just saying.
Well, because they left Diamond Distribution?
And this
I
might be a
mean,
separate podcast.
I'm sorry. Diamond Distribution has been fucking over the comic book industry for years. Maybe more people should have joined them.
What
I'm
the
just
fuck
saying,
is
Dark
happening?
Horse is an option.
Dark Horse is a great publisher, but I mean mass distribution that almost every comic book publisher goes through. They've been like having a.
See what you did, Andrew?
This is a
Look
thing.
what you
You
did.
just did. You just like threw the whole beer podcast
Into
180.
comic book land.
It's a little higher than most. I'm gonna say this is some of the more potent beers we drank because I can tell.
Oh my god, it's such a white chocolate, man.
Why the fuck do you keep saying Swiss Miss?
Swiss mix. The cocoa, the hot chocolate.
That's definitely Swiss Miss. Yes, we understand.
Okay, sorry.
But Swiss Miss typically isn't white chocolate.
I know, but
They have a white chocolate Swiss Miss.
yeah,
They do?
Yeah,
They
they
do.
do.
Oh,
The
fat
fuck?
guy. Why the fuck
When did
didn't I
that
get like
happen?
an email or
I
some
know,
shit?
right?
Just don't sell it in your neighborhood, apparently.
Ouch!
Damn.
You realize I live at like the bougiest place in Indianapolis?
I don't doubt it.
They better fucking sell it there. It's probably too cheap. We do have Godiva. Never mind.
we have to get out of there.
Dude, I'm like not gonna lie. We totally have Godiva.
Where the hell do you live?
Keystone at the Crossing.
Oh
And you got
shit.
13 acres?
Oh, that's in Cloverdale. They don't sell shit out there.
Yeah, they sell light beer and boy, you know where you going.
You should have had your light beer before you came in the fucking county. You got to drive like an entire hour before you get to the city. We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. I went down to visit a friend
You got the liquor barn
that lives in
Monrovia.
southern Indiana. And before we went down to Louisville, I
That's
stopped
still
in
like
New Pekin, Indiana.
38, 40 minutes away.
And I walked
And
into
that's
the bar,
assuming you hop
and I saw
right on
signs for
70?
Yingling. And so I figured, well, there's not going to be a single craft beer in here. And the guy goes, what do you want? And I said, Yingling. He looked at me funny, and I'm like, what's advertised all over the place? So I settled for the neighborhood beer Budweiser because that was probably the classiest thing I was going to get there. But why would you advertise Yingling if you don't even sell it?
Oh, it's okay. I went to a bar and I was kind of, well, not really a bar. I went to a restaurant that had a bar. I was sitting in this restaurant and they had like Red Bull advertisements fucking everywhere. And I was like, oh, can I get a Red Bull? I gotta go do this event. Kind of tired. Use a little pick-me-up. Oh, we don't have Red Bull.
What the fuck?
Bro, you have Red Bull advertisements on literally every wall in this establishment. What the actual fuck?
They were trying to be cool. Like the cool kids.
They only stock it for the weekends when the kids come back from college.
When the douches come into town.
They saved you anyway because
Well,
you
I'm
know a
just guessing-
bar Red Bull's like $7.
Yeah, I'm guessing that when Yingling came into Indiana, they got everybody like coasters and stuff like that and stuff, and some
Mhm.
bars just never kept stocking.
You mean like Hams in Chicago?
Yeah.
Because Hams actually, that's why they became so popular in Chicago. Is because if you bought X amount over a certain course of time, they gave you a neon sign for your bar. It was back when neon was like the thing. If you didn't have neon,
You mean 1960 to like 2005?
basically. But it was more or less, I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly, it was in the 70s and 80s.
Neon and lasers. I mean,
This is, I think, Old Style has similar.
Yeah, Old Style and Hams both did the same thing in Chicago. I think Old Style actually caught more up there, but that was the idea, was if you bought a couple cases, they gave you a big-ass neon sign to hang in your bar. So people would bring it in. They'd never heard of it. They'd bring it in just because they got free neon. Fun fact.
Well, Andrew, I'm going to say those were two of the best beers I've had this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that. Those were quite interesting.
You know, when I thought the idea of bringing them to this, I was like, whenever we did this, I knew that was going to be fun. And we still had 2 beers to drink, and they both look exciting, so we're not over yet. What do we got next, Dwayne?
So this next one is from a brewing company that I was really hesitant on because they make a couple beers that I am... my first experience with this... It's kind of like Nye was. My first couple experiences with this brewing company I was not happy with. So I just took that as an assumption for the whole brewery. So it's Dewclaw Brewing Company. They're the group that makes Sweet Baby Jesus.
And even more Jesus.
Okay.
And Even More Jesus, which I don't like either one of. I think they're not good beers.
I don't like Sweet Baby Jesus either.
I don't like peanut butter in beer.
I stood corrected. I used to say that too. And then somebody actually turned me on to some good peanut butter beers. I've had like 3 in the existence of the beers that I've had.
Puppy Slumber
Pretty
Party.
good peanut butter.
That
one
wasn't
from,
it, but I still need to try that.
Rose made a pretty good
peanut butter porter from 4-Day Ray.
That one's not bad. I mean, there's only a couple that I've been like, oh my god, this is good. I will buy a 6-pack of this.
Rogue made a pretty good peanut butter beer. They teamed up with Voodoo Donuts.
Mm-hmm. I like Voodoo
Peanut
Donuts.
butter, peanut butter stout.
I love Voodoo.
It was pretty
Yes.
good.
If you ever get to Orlando and go to Universal, that one's the only Voodoo that like is not out there.
Yeah, that's the only one that's not way the hell west.
Right. All the way in the upper corner of the map.
Yeah. So Dewclaw's from Baltimore. This one's called Sour Me Oh Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And their Sour Me line, they make a bunch of different ones. They have one that's called like Unicorn Farts or some shit like that. And I mean, that's one of the beers that everybody's trying to get a hold of right now. And I am surprised that I was able to get this. I mean, it's a 5.5%. And let's see how...
Let's see how crispy that pop
Yeah, it
is.
says craft be cherished, rules be damned.
And it says independent on the back of it.
Not as crispy as some that we've had, but still crispy. And when I say this thing looks like a Kool-Aid packet, it pours and looks like fucking Kool-Aid.
It does look like Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah. That is red Kool-Aid. If I have ever seen it.
Oh yeah, sour me some.
The can reminds me of Kool-Aid Jammers. I think that's where they got the inspiration from their artwork.
I'm looking at
Hold
this
on.
and I'm thinking of Laser Raptor when I see the color.
Yeah, the color of the beer is very similar.
It smells phenomenal.
Let's say, make sure glasses are rinsed.
Glasses,
Glass,
not
not
cell
table.
phones.
It's clean off my phone.
Well, that's a pretty disgusting color.
It smells like Kool-Aid.
For those listening, the disgusting color was the rinse out of a glass, not this beer.
But seriously,
Again,
the,
Chuck with the heavy pour.
the can work, seriously, is like,
No,
look,
not
up,
everything, Dwayne.
look up Kool-Aid Jammers. This is the same,
Well,
almost
where's-
the same artwork.
Where's your North Coast logo?
About halfway up the NC.
Okay, I maybe have a quarter of an ounce more.
I'm not worried about it.
I wanted to say something real
Here.
quickly because
You
I
can have
already
the
took a
first
sip of
sip.
this. Do you remember how I told you about a beer I tried from Sun King called Velour Soccer Mom?
Yep.
It was bright red, and it was sour. All straight up sour with nothing behind it. Chase this beer.
So, Pink Taco from Sun King.
Wait, what did you say?
Pink Taco from Sun King. It was a strawberry sour, and it was not fucking good.
This has a little bit more going on than some other ones, but it's mostly sour with just a little bit going on. Just a little bit.
I'm sorry, guys. This is just straight sour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. There is not a lot
So,
going on after behind
It's
it.
like when your aunt makes Kool-Aid because you came over for the summer, and she's reading the instructions to the T and thinks that, oh, you don't need that much sugar.
No, bitch, I want to chew my Kool-Aid.
You can say this; it's perfectly fine when you go over a white person's house for the first time, and they are like, "Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
I
we
wasn't
make
gonna- I
Kool-Aid."
wasn't
They
gonna
get
say
perfectly
that.
cool.
I'm
Like,
like-
I wasn't gonna say anything.
I'm honestly.
you can say it; it's okay. I know.
Do not go there.
No, this is Kool-Aid. This isn't
I've
drink.
had
Aunt
black
Monica.
Kool-Aid, I'm just saying.
I remember the summers at your house.
Aunt
You don't
Monica
know how to make
straight getting
Kool-Aid.
called out.
No sugar at all. It's
Aunt
like
Missy
you just put the
knows
powder
how
and the
to
water
make
together,
Kool-Aid.
right?
Why not?
These are your
What's
fans
the
that are listening.
Alright, legit question.
What?
What's the flavor I'm supposed to be picking up here?
I'm not sure. I was surprised I was able to get a hold of this, but it says, hold on, let's see what it says here.
It just tastes like sour.
Brewed with apple, apricot, guava, orange, papaya, passion fruit, and pineapple purees.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and claim bullshit.
Tropical punch flavored Kool-Aid is what they're going for. Did they achieve it?
No.
It tastes closer to sour beet mash.
I'm just gonna.
Ooh.
It's just
That's interesting.
sour what?
Beet.
Beets.
Yeah, so like,
So I can pick up beets even if it's just for color, and that's the only thing other than sour that I can taste.
I'm not getting any of that, but you're not off on your assessment there. at
I'm
all.
gonna do straight sour. With a little sweetness.
I want to tell this beer you're not fun anymore.
This beer's not fun. This beer's
No.
not good.
I'm sorry.
The packaging lied to us.
Do you like no beet flavor?
Yeah, I've actually
feel
had
like-
I had a beer from there's a brewery that I used to drink from New York State that actually used beet in their beer.
And close your eyes, taste it. Just pay attention to that aftertaste.
Just a hint.
Yeah, it's almost
But
like
it's
it's just
there.
there for color. But
Yeah.
it's like I can taste that. That's not pleasant. I don't like beet.
This beer wants to lock you in a closet and do bad things to you.
oh shit.
This beer's an insult to all beers.
I won't
I
go
think this
that
is gonna be
far.
the first one I don't finish.
Well, okay, it's an insult.
It's
to
an insult to
sours.
sours. I will say that. Dewclaw has made some cool shit, and
Let me see that can.
Don't do that, Dwayne. It's not gonna work.
No, it's not going to work.
I was just re-gripping the glass.
I wanted to just talk about because I knew that we were going to try something tonight that was just going to be all sour and no fun.
But this is not the sour I hate the most.
Which one made you cry?
The
one that he brought?
The one that was corked and your guys were all excited.
Oh,
and
the actual,
clean.
like, true, legit, two-style sour?
Like the first half of this, I think I didn't like those as much. Like the second half started off really strong. This is
Now you feel like your mouth's been
built
aspirated.
you up just to tear you down.
This is like how I imagine the management style of a pay-by-the-hour hotel manager would treat shit. Is that good enough? It's good enough. It's like cool. Just get out. Just, you're done.
With bed bugs.
Yeah.
You're fortunate for just getting bed bugs.
Dude, this is...
Jake,
I mean,
I honestly think you could just take fruit juice and throw vinegar in it and get the same flavor.
probably. You can probably, yeah.
It does. It does have a vinegar.
You know, I tasted.
I wouldn't go, like,
Apple
super...
cider vinegar, though.
It's not, like, stupid vinegary, but it's
This
just...
isn't
it's
too
stupid
far off.
sour with no fucking...
When I was trying those lemon pepper ribs, I mixed lemonade and apple cider vinegar for the
Got it.
braising liquid.
Beer
Yeah.
Advocate said yes. That's definitely fucking beet juice.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, I'm air hugging you.
There's a microphone between them, or else they'd legit be man
If you
loving
got
right
Beer
now.
Advocate up, what,
That was one of the
what
most
BA
magical
rated
air
at?
hugs I've ever seen.
This beer has a 2.8, 5.5 ABV.
2.8 out of what?
What's the actual BA score?
20? Is it out of 20?
I think BA's out of 10.
Hold on.
Should be at, like, the very top.
The average is 2.65.
Out of?
5.
Oh, okay.
And ABV is 5.5.
What BA scored at? 'Cause their BA will score it out of
No.
up to 100.
It just has NA for their score.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I have the
So
average
even-
score. Yeah. They were like, no, this sounds
No.
like a bad plan. Like, why would you want us? No.
This is,
Yeah,
So-
lots of ones, 1.3.
I do want to ask.
Okay, now that I just, like, chugged that. Wow, that's very gardeny beat.
Uh-huh. I'm telling you, man, like, I can taste it, like, even in the tiniest amounts.
It's no good.
You want that one? Here, finish.
I don't even like it. And it's
May
bad.
no beer go to waste. Like, take that
I'm
shit.
good.
You sure? You sure?
Hey, D, remember you were complaining about my overpouring? You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
No,
dude.
no, no, you're good. We're
Give
good.
me the damn thing. I brought the beer. I will take the punishment. I'm not looking forward to this. This is chug juice for me. Like, I have this in my fridge at home just to chug this shit.
No,
See, I
chug
I
good
like
shit.
the sourness of it. I understand that it doesn't have a lot of flavor, but the beet is literally the only flavor that comes through, and it's like the one thing I can't stand.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be all right?
Oh yeah, it's not enough to make my stomach turn, but it's just enough that it's unpleasant.
Give me that back. I need that right now.
Wait, that was just...
Yeah, I drank the rinse water from my last glass because it tastes better than that beer.
Jesus.
I'm
Check
sorry.
it in Untapped. I would sooner drink the rinse water from my glass.
I'm sorry, DePaul. You know, I love that you guys are still independently craft, but
Hey,
it's not a great beer.
it's a gimmick beer. They knew what they were doing. They're like, yeah, this is not.
It looks like a
for
Kool-Aid
nostalgia,
label,
yeah.
and that's...
But still, if you don't make a gimmick beer, at least make a freaking beer. You know?
Shit.
Like, if I'm gonna buy it,
This is why
I want a
I'm always
beer.
afraid to try
I
those things
want-
where it's like, hey, Cinnamon Toast Crunch beer. No, I don't want to fucking buy. No.
The one that I do want to try that's gimmicky as shit is the Airhead beer.
You don't want the biscuits and gravy beer?
Fuck no, that Jimmy Dean bullshit. I hope to God that's fake.
What about the mustard beer?
Oh, the French's mustard? That's from, that's legit, though.
But you can't even get your hands on it. It's sold out. That was Oscar Blues.
Yeah, Oscar
What?
Blues made
The
a
10
French's
people?
yellow... They made a French's yellow mustard beer.
Why? I thought I trusted them.
No, it actually
I don't trust them.
it legitimate.
I lost my faith in Oscar Blues.
Now, here's the
Whoa,
question.
whoa,
Hold on,
whoa.
time out. Would that pair well...
with a hot dog.
No, with a big Bavarian-style pretzel.
Maybe the pretzel, but definitely a bratwurst.
Ooh.
Make beer brats with
Hold
it.
on, yeah, don't drink it. Use it to make beer brats.
I don't know.
That
we
could
haven't-
do
I
well.
gotta find it and try it. Well, Andrew, I think we're on to our next beer.
Yes,
Yeah.
next beer.
Yeah.
We're excited about it because we have one left.
Yeah.
And
The final
I'm
beer.
sorry, I have been a fan of Flemish sour browns longer than anybody at this table because I am also the oldest and probably the only one that went to Belgium in
We
1999.
went over this last time. D is the oldest. I'm the second oldest. Jake's honorarily older.
Okay, well, anyway, I went to Belgium in 1999, and I didn't know what I was drinking, but I got to try some Flemish sour browns back then.
Is this going to be like that last really renowned beer that...
No, this is fun. This actually is great, and there was a beer that was made by New Glarus called the Enigma, which until you could, other than Belgium, I've only had one Flemish sour brown that was made in the United States that was as good as this stuff, and it was made by New Glarus. This is fun.
Surprise!
What the fuck?
That was awesome. This is why I like Belgium, and it's why the Disneyland of beer.
That scared the shit out of me.
You took the cage off the cork, man. I forgot. I put my finger on the cork.
I gotta
Alright,
drink.
well,
I gotta drink some of Jake's
it's
ginger
pop.
ale to get that
So,
last one out.
that was the crispiest.
Yes, and you, this is fun.
That was the most violent.
D's just chilling over here, though.
I love how he straight picked his head up like, oh, what's going on? Oh, fuck it. I just went right back down.
And
Hey, in all fairness, like, I am from the hood. It's like,
From
was
the
it
ghetto.
not a gunshot?
And
No,
Dwayne?
we're good.
this is the one that is our basically introductory to the sours that border along the funks because this is all funk making this sour. And when we do like funky beers,
Ooh, that's dark.
we are going to revisit this one.
Would you say this is the parliament of beers?
Yes.
Well, I would say the rest of the beers we've had have had very light, playful colors, a lot showing, the fruit or, well, what you would expect from, like, a lager. But this is almost stout dark. This is a very dark beer.
So
And I
is
think I'm
this-
going to be excited.
It's got the funk.
Is this the Bootsy Collins?
Yes, this may be the Grand Funk Railroad of our beers. This could definitely...
Jesus.
You still got a lot.
Give him beer. Give him beer. Jesus.
That's not that much there.
Compared to what everybody else poured. Yeah,
I mean, look at how
that's
much
a
I
lot.
poured. Come on.
You don't like beer. Sour
I
beer.
love beer.
You're not going to like this one.
Say, he's the host of the goddamn show.
Charlie might like this one.
Watch this.
Yeah, that's a lot more.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Dees is on a coaster.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But again, D's probably getting all the good stuff.
Yeah.
There's a funky smell to it. Very smunky. Very smunky.
It's the same strain of yeast. Oh. I used that when I brewed Hello, My Name is Harambe.
Yes, I love that
Oh
fucking
my
beer.
god.
I know that. I might actually like this one.
It's got the funk. Gotta get that funk.
It's not that bad. I've had some like foot tasting beers.
Oh,
that
this
are-
isn't even. This is actually
like-
made from. This is Lawfully.
This is
Yeah, this is a very good representation. This is not. This is actually an American.
Yeah, that's made by New Belgium.
Yeah.
It's one of the top beer. That beer is one of the top sours to try before you die.
tangy, not tart. Like almost caramely.
What is that in the middle back?
I don't know. I don't have enough beer to try
What
it
year
more
is
than
this?
once. I'm just talking shit up a little bit more. Sours and shit talking.
Mm.
Does it
That
say what
sounds
year
like a
this is?
podcast in and of itself.
It's this podcast.
What you know? What year?
It's this podcast.
I do
No,
not.
I meant sours and shit talking could be like the title of a whole nother fucking.
Oh,
Unless
like-
it's on the
Like
cork.
entire series.
Mhm.
I mean, like there are enough sours. We can do this.
Thanks for the episode title name.
Episode title?
Sours and Shit Talking.
Yeah,
I
I
like
planned
it.
that like before I even got here. Like
Yeah, well.
that's a shout out to my homegirl Cassandra. She says hi, by the way,
Oh, cool.
from D&D.
Oh, shit. Okay.
There you go.
I'm just like, I know this one. I know this one. File not found. File not found. System error.
Get a little dark fruit in there.
This is way better than the last one.
A little plum.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get a little plum.
Without
maybe some dark
even-
cherry.
I'm pretty sure this could taste like dog shit and it'd be better than the last one.
Do you
I
want-
don't know. I've never tasted dog shit. I'm not sure it beats out beats. It might though.
Beats out beats.
Beats out beats.
Beats.
Makes me think of ladies' man.
Get some dark fruit in there.
Beats.
When we do the funks, and we're doing the Funk Fest kind of thing, show, I want to get some sour browns like Rotebach and some of the other ones, and you can taste what's going on in these beers, and you can see a little bit more excitement because this is one of my favorite styles of beer for a reason. They're exciting.
Very good beer.
Yeah, that's definitely not bad at all.
That's a balanced sour because there's
Yeah.
there's a lot going on in there.
That one could win me over. Like the second half of this, the one we put together, I think, minus the not Kool-Aid. Yeah, okay. I get it. I get what you're going for. I can appreciate this. The first half, I don't know, maybe I should just go back and revisit them sometime down the road. Now that I've gone through this gamut of sours, but
No, we saved the best ones for last. And other than the growler at the beginning, this was all the best ones were at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Although that Cigar City one was fun too. But I think we had a few.
It was interesting.
We had a few fillers. They were tasty session beers.
Yep.
A very good balanced beer. I mean, New Belgium doesn't make crap. I mean, they definitely pay attention to quality. And it shows in every beer they make.
That's
whether,
just...
whether you're drinking their standard run-of-the-mill fat tire to something exotic like this.
Mhm.
See, I am not a Fat Tire fan, but I love this beer.
I mean,
I like Fat Tire to an extent.
I think Fat Tire shows what, like, when a brewery is consistent with what they do.
It's not a bad beer. It's just
Yeah.
like I'm not a fan.
Well, we talked about this in the last episode, too. If you want to talk about consistency, you can't rule out the big three just because...
Like piss water and other piss water.
When you say the big three,
I'm talking Budweiser, Miller, and Coors.
Miller and Coors are the same company.
Well, the big...
Two.
Well, think about it, because nobody other than beer nerds really pays attention to that.
No.
So, the three big light beers, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Because the three big light beers in America are Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light. And the fact that
Keystone Light.
we're not talking about that shithole
That's
beer.
a whole different episode for Jake.
Yeah, we'll have a garbage
for Jake
beer.
and his pals that are all going to get together and have their natter days.
Dude, we could have brought Natter Days as a sour. I'm not gonna lie.
Totally Did I trade a dogfish head for a natterday? Like, kayaking was weird. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, there are some decent light beers out there, but I'm thinking like Yingling Light, Sam Adams Light, you know?
Right. You're not the non-run-of-the-mill macro adjunct lager. But when you guys talk about consistency, I mean, we can throw out the pioneers of the craft beer revolution, Sierra Nevada. I mean, New
Sam
Belgium,
Adams.
Yingling. Guys that have been doing this since
Yingling does make some of their non like labels like made
They're
labels.
black and tan.
They're black and tan. They're porter, so they're Oktoberfest. Yingling does have some craft labels.
Oh yeah,
I've never had Yingling's Oktoberfest.
It's good.
I thought we had it in here last year. Or was it the year before that?
I don't know.
Either way, it's been too long and I forgot about it myself, so...
That might be a good episode too, because we could
Just
certainly
an episode of Marzens?
Yeah, we could get our hands on about 25, 30 Oktoberfest easily.
probably.
That's not a good idea. The good idea is trying some of the big ones, but 25 to 30 of
No, I'm
them
just
would
saying.
probably be a mistake.
Well, I'm not saying it's a good idea to have all of them, but that would be a bad idea to do an episode of that.
I'm saying that's a great idea, but we do it at my place on a different night where I don't have to work the next day.
Yeah. We can do that, and we can make some brats
Yeah.
and pretzels.
Get that mustard beer.
Get that find that mustard beer.
If any of the listeners out there have that mustard beer, holler at
It's
us.
sold out immediately because I did try to get a 6-pack. So yeah, if you have one of those, Dwayne will give up his firstborn child to get us a 6-pack of that.
I'll even go this far. I'll send you a bottle of Hunapoo if you can trade me.
Ooh. It's out there in the ether now, guys.
The jig is
Hunapoo
on.
for a mustard beer.
This offer is valid for 30 days after this comes out.
Except in Tennessee.
Except in Tennessee?
Well, yeah, we don't need to talk about that. I mean, I think we all know there's a reason why we would want to...
No! I have no fucking
It's
clue.
Tennessee.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
What did I come into?
D, back us up on this one.
You can't. Tennessee's off limits, right?
You can't trade beer from
Can't
Tennessee.
trade beer from Tennessee.
D, you're the only 10 I see.
Honestly, I don't know that I would not drink beer from any particular place. I mean...
No, not
I've-
drink. Trade.
Trade?
You can't trade beer from Tennessee.
Are there any Tennessee breweries that are just, like, kick-ass?
Yes.
If you say Jack Daniels, it...
No, I'll have to pull it out, but I want to make a shout out to one of the best tap rooms in the state of Indiana, Hop Station up in Mishawaka.
Okay.
And I happened to be up there, and I'd have to look at it because I'd have to go way back into my Untapped. But I happened to be up there, and somebody was bringing back beer from Tennessee. It was all sours. And they opened up one, and it was actually a cucumber sour that was quite good. And I'll have to do some research back and look at when I saw this, because this is back in January. But they told me that this was the best brewery in Tennessee.
But if it was made in Tennessee, do we know that it was intentionally a sour?
I think so.
Yeah, because everything they do is sour mash.
Is that racist?
I'm sorry that you can't
Regionalist?
appreciate the taste of a sour mash whiskey. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Jack Daniels is piss.
I'm not talking about Jack Daniels. I'm talking about sour mash whiskey in general.
Like George Dickel.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to boldface just say this. I don't like Dickel.
You don't like Dickel in your mouth?
As a matter of
Oh,
fact,
no,
no.
he likes Dickel in his mouth.
You don't like Dickel near your face?
No, as a matter of fact, that's an activity I choose not to participate in.
I don't know that I've ever had any Dickel.
Dickel's pretty good.
You've had some Dickel in your mouth.
Are you sure?
Possibility.
Was I asleep? Because, like, sometimes, you know, just...
You just wake up more fucked up because somebody's pouring shots in your mouth while you're asleep.
Have you ever had Horda?
Yes.
Well, you probably had Dickel in your mouth.
In all fairness, like,
I've seen it.
there's Horda. and
I've
there's
seen
Horda.
it. What is that?
No, you get to try to buy it, and it is sold out. So,
Yeah. So it is sold out, but if somebody out there in the ether has it and they're willing to trade, I will send them a bottle of Hunapoo. Because I have a new source for that, and now I can get Hunapoo damn near regularly, so...
Oh, well, I actually just thought it was special.
Yep.
Well, understand we can't
Matt, if
sell
you're listening,
Horda. Can we
I'm gonna call
trade
you.
Horda?
I would think so. I mean, I used to have my own Horda at
Maybe
home.
I'll give him a call, too.
Just whatever I had, yeah.
I'll give this
The problem for me is that my alcohol at home right now consists of jet fuel and vodka.
So you're just gonna make your jet fuel less alcoholic.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I started mine, I got a sampler from Ian. And you've been to Ian's, and you know his liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't want to hurt you, so I built you a sampler out of my better things.
Oh, yes, I remember because he custom made some Horta.
Mhm.
Those actually weren't bad.
No, they weren't,
Yeah.
Angel. I like those a lot. All right. Do we have any closing thoughts on this? I feel like we've tried all the beers.
Closing thought.
Yeah, let's...
If you're afraid of sours, don't be afraid of sours. They are very interesting beers, full of flavor, full of fun times, and try them.
Yeah, I got to say that. Sours are one of those beers that a lot of people shy away from because they don't understand the range that you can get out of a sour, and I think we've kind of explored that tonight. And
There's some ends we didn't go to.
right, but I mean, we did get a nice sampling.
We
Yeah.
covered the big base of
So
Yeah.
sours.
I want to just have a little side note on this. How many people at this table ever got a chance to drink beer at now closed place in Broadville called Bruges Brasserie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, I missed out on that.
Okay, well,
one.
Bruges Brasserie for a time was cutting edge when they opened up 15 years ago or so, and they were doing Belgian beer, and the Triple the Ripple was one of my favorite beers
Killer
ever.
beer.
But they had some beers called Puka, Kitty, Very Bad Kitty. They were making sours that were great, and they were making solid sours. And I'm going to miss Ted's great beers. I hope he opens up a Belgian-style beer brewery at some point again, and he does sours because...
Side note, Bruges Brasserie.
Brasserie, yeah.
Thank you. They are not closing for good.
No, but if
They
come-
said that they are going to be moving locations.
Okay, so I'm just saying, if you like sours and you like what we talked about tonight, when they do back open up, I hope that they have a sour in some form, and it's one of the best ones you can get on draft here in Indiana. Solid.
I had good beer.
Yeah.
I didn't hate all of them.
Well, that's
Which
good,
is
Charlie.
saying something coming out of you.
I'm quite proud of you, Charlie, that you sat through all of this.
I'm really full now. And the comment about them being lower ABV. Yeah, I don't know.
It does leave you feeling good.
Yes, sour beer is happy beer.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
I
happy
still
beer.
have some of this sour meal, yeah, because I didn't finish it.
I'm not touching it.
That is you. We can't end the podcast until you drink it.
Okay.
Gotta do
Drink
it.
it, chug it,
Got to go vertical.
Vertical.
vertical,
Chug,
chug it,
Chug. Chug.
because
Chug.
you'll
chug.
taste the
There
beats when you
go.
chug it.
Go.
You're going to hate yourself.
How's that beautiful beat footage?
How's the beet taste?
That is straight up sour.
Sour and beet juice.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye. Very sour beer. I like sour, but I'm not going to go there. But I just love it to have a little bit more going on than just in-your-face sour. And we experienced a lot of beers tonight that had a parade in your mouth compared to this one.
All right. Well, to mouth parades and beet juice kisses, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Good night.
All right.